How would you like to get up off your couch and hit someone with a foam sword? What if there was a pickup sport with parks all across the nation that was basically speed tag but with weapons? Where you could just roll up to a park on a nice sunny Saturday and get handed a foam bat by a stranger wearing a tunic, then sprint onto a grassy field to smack people like it was Helm's Deep. Where you could team up with friends to wield foam daggers, swords, spears, bows, and even magic to crush the enemy team and claim ultimate victory. This is Amtgard, a foam fighting sport that throws you straight into the action of fast-paced, full-contact fantasy fighting. And you're too afraid to try it because you saw this 30-second clip in a movie once.
Come, let us gingerly touch our tips.
But what if you were brave enough to change your mind? Amtgard, also known by its way less popular names Belgarth and Dagahir, is a free-to-play combat-focused pickup sport that's really big in Texas for some reason, using foam weapons known as boffers designed for minimum broken body parts and maximum replayability. You can take on the role of warriors, wizards, healers, archers, barbarians, assassins, and more to jump into team fights and crazy competitive scenarios, combining your individual skill with allies to compete against other players. And you might be thinking, isn't that LARPing? No! Where LARP focuses on roleplay and storytelling and things like the SCA or HEMA focus on form or historical accuracy, Amtgard skips straight to the part where you hit each other with foam bats. Instead of jerseys, you wear anything you could reasonably steal from your local Renaissance fair. And the general idea is to grab your favorite weapon combo, line up against the enemy team, and hit them till they die. How do you know when that is? Well, there are very simple rules. No headshots. Getting hit anywhere on the torso is instant death. Getting hit in the limb chops that limb off and removes it from play. If you get hit in the arm, put it behind your back. If you get hit in the leg, drop down to your knees and keep fighting. Get hit twice in the limbs or once in the body and you're dead. When you speed it up, it looks like this. That's it. You fight, you win, you line up, and you do it again for like 6 hours. It's not meant to be realistic, it's meant to be fun. And brother, it is fun. Live out your dream of duking it out in Middle-earth without actually getting shot in the chest by an orc. Put your skills to the test as you fight to survive against an onslaught of enemy combatants. Best of all, it's f***ing free. Find a park near you, show up with a good attitude, and meet people who are actually excited to share a hobby that they enjoy with you. With parks all over the nation, there's bound to be one near you. So really, if any of this sounds at all interesting, you owe it to yourself to give this game a shot. But will you? I know what you're thinking. I can't do that, you say, Starbucks in one hand and unused gym membership in the other. That stuff's for socially awkward losers. Now hold on a minute. Amtgard is what you play when you realize that life's too short not to do the fun stuff. You're not bothered that fighting with foam swords is a little bit silly because you're too busy enjoying your life. Plus, in order to even show up, you have to be confident enough to not care that you're an adult wearing cosplay, social enough that you actually want to meet up with strangers, and active enough to do something physically rigorous without disintegrating in sunlight. The result? A community of some of the nicest, friendliest, and most attractive, down-to-earth folks that you've ever met. And it might be nerdy, but bro, come on. Life is short and we're all gonna die. Do you really want to go out without ever having smacked someone with a foam sword even once? So let's say you did want to try. Where would you start? How would you find a park near you? And what would you need to know on your first day? All right, you lunatic, you're in. You've accepted the call. Look deep into the eyes of that inner demon that judges other people when they're having fun and said, "Not today, you dusty bastard." Now what? Step 1 is finding a park that's close to you. Your #1 best bet is to search for parks online using Amtgard.com. Even though the website looks like it's from 1995, you can search for parks within a range of your nearby city and it automatically finds the ones that are active near you. You can also use the website Come Try LARP, but their list isn't exhausted because parks have to put themselves on it. So if the park next to you is lazy, it won't show up in their database. If both of these fail, search for Amtgard, Belgarth, or Dagahir on Reddit, Meetup, or Facebook. If you want the fantasy, magic, swords, and sorcery, you need to find an Amtgard park. If you just want to hit people with sticks, Belgarth and Dagahir are for you. Once you find a place, show up. You don't need gear. You don't need experience. You don't even need to know the rules. What you need is to hit the subscribe button for more snarky fantasy content. I mean, get to the park. Every single park I've ever visited has been filled with overwhelmingly happy people who are thrilled to shower you in weapons, armor, and an exhaustingly comprehensive overview of rules you don't need to know. Just show up, don't be a dick, and you're gonna have a fun time. So, once you find a park and show up, what does your first day actually look like? When you roll up to the park, you'll probably see some people fighting and some people just hanging out. Just walk up and say hi and let them know that you're here to play. They'll be hyped, hand you a weapon, run you through the basics, and send you out onto the battlefield. Once there, you'll probably start with a game called Ditch. 2 teams line up and hit each other until one side is out. If you get hit, put your sword on your head and walk out until the next round. Then do it again, and again, and again. Between water breaks, chit-chat, and a constant flow of ditches, 1v1s, and smaller fights, the hours will fly by. Until, of course, it's time. I see that look in your eyes. You want more. You've tasted blood. Foam blood, but still. And can no longer be satisfied with dressing up in tunics and hitting people with fake weapons. No. You want power. The power to ruin friendships with armor bonuses and spell effects. Fake medieval fighting sounds cool and all, you say, adjusting your glasses and setting down your 25th anniversary Legend of Zelda collector's mug. But I'm a huge nerd and I'm not satisfied unless there's studying involved. Did I hear you mention classes? You fool!
By the grace of the divine, now I'm resurrected by the paladin. A knight! They got the fireball! They got the fireball! They got the fireball! Sanctuary! Sanctuary!
Ha! I got you! It was a LARP the whole time. Battle games introduce new mechanics on top of the base sword fighting rules, cranking the dial from fun backyard sword fighting to tactical class fantasy-based brawl where shouting becomes a viable strategy. You can wear armor, shoot bows and arrows, throw javelins, cast magic, resurrect allies, hurl spell balls, and more as you become a fantasy class. There are 12 standard classes. Each one has a unique set of abilities that you can use to influence the game. Warrior is the ultimate fighter class. It's what you want if what you want is to smack people. Put on armor and take multiple hits before you're out. Wizard is the opposite. You can't wear armor, but you can throw spell balls that have different effects, like stop moving, stop talking, stop playing the game, and stop existing. Healer lets you resurrect dead allies by reciting the modern equivalent of a Shakespearean sonnet. Assassin specializes in killing losers who don't put on any armor. Barbarian specializes in killing losers who do put on armor, which is funnier. Archer shoots arrows, which should be pretty self-explanatory, except whoops, my hand slipped. Scout gets everything and still manages to be the worst class in the game. Druid specializes in making a single ally an ungodly monster who ruins game balance. Bard supports their team by being super annoying to the enemy team. Monk straight up ignores all that magic stuff because they just want to fight. Paladin fights to help their team if helping their team means killing the enemy team. And finally, Anti-Paladin breaks everyone else's stuff because he wasn't invited to the birthday party. Whatever fantasy lives rent-free in your brain, there's a class that lets you live it, and what you play depends entirely on what you want to physically do on the battlefield. Do you want to be on the front lines and fight? Warrior or Barbarian? Do you want to flank the sides? Assassin or Monk? Do you want to throw things? Wizard? Do you want to sit at your base and pretend to be participating in the game but actually just sit in a chair for an hour? Healer, Druid, or Bard? But you can be combat versions of those classes too. Play the thing that lets you have fun. That's kind of the point. Lastly, every time you show up at the park, you'll get a credit. Collect credits to level up. The higher your level, the more spells and abilities you'll gain access to, giving you more options in how you play. And that's it. That's everything you need to know to get started with Amtgard. Between the basic sword fighting rules and just the knowledge that classes exist, you'll be able to show up on your first day no problem. And here's the best part. If you do decide to show up, you're gonna meet some really cool people. The people are the things that make it possible. The creativity, the outfits, the crafting, the friends you accidentally make while pretending to be a wizard in a public park. It's a place where showing up, even once, makes you part of something. And that something is pretty damn fun. So if you like fantasy, if you've ever wanted to fight with swords, throw spells, or even just stop doom scrolling long enough to try something wildly different, then find a park. Show up. Try it. Worst case, you have a really funny story to tell your friends over a beer. Best case, you find the coolest sport you'll ever play.